the UK Ship Register is looking to grow the flag, but how do you see that growth happening in an industry that is really struggling with the consequences of coronavirus?
Wow, what a question to start with. It is going to be a long process, I think, but I think it will take some prioritization as well, and it's a real mix of fiscal stimulus, so being creative in terms of how we interpret taxation, how we look at how legislation that was designed for the domestic market, how it is implemented and how it's expressed internationally can sometimes limit the volume of people who can come onto the flag. It's also really important in terms of, I think, that to recognise the opportunity of exiting the EU delivers to us, and it's a kind of pivotal moment for our nation, and and also COVID is demonstrating that there is going to be absolutely unprecedented change coming to every walk of life, and it's being able to take that, distill it, and take it through to the most appropriate revised proposition for the flag. So, and the flag has some hugely positive attributes. That we are renowned across the world for our expertise in maritime, slightly less so for our flexibility and our agility in terms of looking at case-by-case bases for international maritime shipping companies. So it's developing a proposition that is much more coherent for the here and now. It's being able to be far more flexible and less rigid in our interpretation of regulations, being more transparent with fees, but most importantly, I think, is being honest to what the MCA offers, and what we've come down to is to be the preeminent ethical flag. So we're never going to be the biggest open register. We don't really want to compete with the Marshall Islands and Panama because they have a very different approach to us. They're not run by civil servants, they're run by lawyers. And what they're trying to do is get the most commercially beneficial outcome for their companies on the flag. We're more about a balance, and I think that balance is far more appropriate to the new world we're entering, where sustainability is coming absolutely to the fore, where transparency will be required of any investment decision, rather than the opaque nature of maritime, maybe at the moment, where a lot of the goings on occur in tax havens. And also it just demands a focus on the individual, on the seafarer, and in particular their welfare. And finally, a recognition of the massive job we have to do in terms of decarbonising the industry as well, and that we can take a lead globally and will really drive the development of the flag. That was a very long answer to a short question.
No, it's fantastic, and thanks for the critique at the end as well. So.
I've got one more question. Is that all right, Mark?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm not asking you, Dan. You don't get a choice.
No.
You've mentioned there about balance. A couple of years ago, I changed broadband providers, not because I particularly wanted to, but because my old broadband provider refused to give me the same offer as a new potential broadband provider. And I suppose my question to you is, it's great to encourage new custom, But it's also really important to take care of the current customers so that they feel just as valued as those people that you're welcoming onto the flag. How are you going to achieve that balance?
No, I completely agree with that. That classic campaign, I think it was nationwide, brand new customers only, is one of, and from my background in marketing, I have a passionate belief in delivering to our existing customers, and I actually think that the growth from the flag, the majority will come from our existing customers. We haven't maxed out the fleets of our existing customers, and in fact, if we service them appropriately with this agility and ethical basis, and service them appropriately, plus the digitization, fantastic digitization that's coming on stream, then what we will generate, I believe, is a whole cohort of influencers and advocates who will go out, hopefully, in the global market and sing our praises. And there's nothing more powerful than that recommendation, and that's really at the heart of the marketing strategy. So it's putting our customers right at the heart of that, delivering to them, and then allowing them to market for us, as opposed to going out to new customers and dragging them in. It's a far more difficult process. Let's work with those in. And a lot of those big shipping companies we work with, we've only got about 20% of their fleets. So we can drive that growth very effectively. We don't necessarily, it's kind of maybe sexier to go out and pull in lots of new companies, but actually I passionately believe that the growth will come, and then the acceleration will come through successfully developing this group of advocates.